all beef patty, special sauce for the cheese, pickles, onions on a special cheese.
Now I said Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's only one way to cook a turtle, that is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I sit alone in my four-cornered room staring at candles. Oh, that shit is on? Let me drop some shit like this here.
Welcome back to the Bottom of the Pit podcast, where we look to the moon and swap our palates. I am, as per usual, Mick Whoopi Goldberg of the food chain, and today I have brought back on...
Carvin Chicken. What's up, y'all? Love the name still. I always gotta acknowledge that. Yep.
Carvin Chicken is joining me today, and we are taking a bit of a turn. I am completely without notes today, so if I start to ramble, Carvin Chicken will set me back on track. But I didn't take any notes, and it's not that I'm not taking it seriously. It's just we're on a different topic today. Yeah. Usually it's about fighting games exclusively, but this is something that's close to both of our hearts. We bond over this all the time. We've recorded something previously about it, and it came back, and we both finally finished the series. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about it. Carvin Chicken, you might want to let them know what that is.
Well, it's the pop culture's phenomenon on Netflix, which is basically the British New Age version of Twilight Zone is the Black Mirror. Black Mirror Season 5 came out later than usual because they came out with their... And I know you thought it was lackluster, the Bandersnatch movie that came out earlier this year, which they always usually release their seasons December or January. They released the movie, but they released Season 5 6 months later. And at first I was like, really? 3 episodes? It felt like Season 1 again, where it was just like, why?
Yeah, where you just... Like, without realizing it, you're on to Season 2.
Yeah.
Because Season 1 was only a couple episodes, too.
Yeah, it's really weird because every season was it was getting one episode more and more and more, and I was like, they got a lot to work with just to keep the fans satisfied for 3 episodes.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, too, because I'm sure a lot of people were looking forward to more Black Mirror.
Yeah.
When someone that has previously had, 10 episodes a season, 6 episodes a season... when they drop a season that's only 3 episodes, it's really lackluster. They could be 3 of the greatest episodes, and you'll still have that "is that it" taste in your mouth. You know what I mean?
Kind of just want more, and you want more to compare to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big thing because Season 4 had, I want to say, either 5 or 6 episodes, and they're big different. They're all different, and you can compare and contrast which one's better. But then this one's just like, you only got 3.
3 episodes. You can't really compare and contrast them because they're also very, very different. The first one isn't even too far into the future. No. It's kind of in the realm of where we're at now, almost.
Well, the beginning of the episode is where we're at.
Oh yeah, that's where we're at in the beginning.
Yeah, because there is a time skip about 10, 15 years.
I think it was like 11 years.
Yeah, right around there.
It was like an odd number.
And it's not the far, far future as some episodes or weird type of technology.
Yeah.
And I would say like all 3 episodes are very American.
Yeah, well they have.
There's only one that's very British, but it has a big American influence into it.
Right. And all 3 episodes, every single one of them have big name actors in them. Or big names.
They kind of went out to get some big known celebrities.
And I don't know about you, but I didn't like that at all.
I
mean, I love Anthony Mackie.
I didn't really like how they were promoting more the actor than the ideas. It was always about the ideas rather than the actors. Personally, for Black Mirror, it's the concept and then the actors. Because when they had their first trailer, they just showed Miley Cyrus, Anthony Mackie, Topher Grace.
Like anyone likes Topher Grace. Is there a single Topher Grace fan out there?
I've heard that 70 shows, but that's besides the point.
Really, I'm still mad about Spider-Man 3 forever and ever.
Let's get over it. But it's, it's starting to I really hope that they don't start doing this trend where they're pushing for more of the celebrities than the ideas. But we'll talk more in depth about the episodes and what we liked about it, how the season was overall.
Yeah.
I guess... we're not going to go, synopsis-wise in each episode. We're just going to express our feelings towards it in the overall Black Mirror realm.
Yeah, how it's kind of turning out.
Now, I will say, Episode 1, Striking Vipers, was the most talked about episode of this season.
Yeah.
Just because of what the okay, if you're gonna watch this episode, do not watch it with your bros. You will get uncomfortable.
Yeah, it'll get a little weird, like, once it gets going, and, you kind of look to your side, I see Carvin Chicken, I'll see, especially if, like, I'm watching with a Jamaican Shake, or Bonsai Wolf Burger, it'll get really strange, and it'll be really quiet for a long time.
I kind of felt offensive by this episode.
Why?
In the sense, like, I understand, like, as Americans, I don't know if this is like a British view of Americans. I know we're horn dogs, but we don't play games just to bang, or like create characters just to bang. Right. And I felt like this episode with their VR, I like their VR type of concept. It was cool. You go into the game, which is a Street Fighter-esque type of vibe to it, which is pretty cool.
It kind of ties into our shows.
Yeah, it ties into video games, exactly.
Very, very lightly.
And you become the character, like physique, sexually, you feel everything. And it's an interesting idea, but all they did was have sex. And it never really felt like... There was only one scene where it kind of felt like, yeah, I think they're kind of gay, but it didn't really feel like it was pushing that message. It was just more like they just made each other feel good. It made me confused and uncomfortable, and I was like, are we still back to this whole, like, video games is just violence, sex, and it's just for immature people to an extent? And I'm like, we've grown past that, personally.
You see, I kind of liked the episode. Well, as a fighting gamer, of course I was critiquing the hell out of, like, the fighting game in, like, Striking Vipers.
Yeah.
That's totally irrelevant. That's just something I was doing. I was like, that's not really balanced. It's, maybe they're just bad at playing the game. Anyway, there was a line in the episode that I didn't like, but I wasn't surprised, just given how the landscape of whatever that game is. Yeah. Where it was after, maybe before I go on, we should do a quick synopsis of the episode.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, then I'll hop back on that point. Yeah. The episode focuses around this guy. He's played by Anthony Mackie. We'll just call him Anthony Mackie.
And the guy who plays Black Manta from Aquaman's in there too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
that's him.
Is that Carl? His name is Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Carl, and let's call him Carl Anthony Mackie. Mm-hmm. They were best friends, right? They were best friends all their life. They grew up playing this game called Striking Vipers, right? It's this game. Well, it's a fighting game. It's a fighting game. And this character. I can't think of what the. Lance was like the Ryu type, and then they have Roxette was the Chun-Li type. They're just boom and boom, and they each played each character respectively. Carl was a Roxette player, and Anthony Mackie was the Lance player. Yeah. And Anthony Mackie was no good at the game, but that's okay. They're just having a good time, right? And then that was like in the past, and it does like a jump cut, right? In 11 years. His girlfriend, Anthony Mackie's girlfriend at the time, they're married, they have a kid?
Yeah, they have a kid.
Okay, they have a kid. They're married, they have a kid. Carl comes back into their life for their kid's birthday. Or his birthday, I'm sorry. His birthday. Yeah. And you show that Anthony Mackie's not that fun anymore, he's not that spontaneous anymore. He fell into like the dad life. Exactly, into the dad life. He's a husband and a father, and he's kind of boring. But Carl is still... young, wild, and free. Yeah, well, exactly. He's the same age, I imagine, but he's young, wild, and free. Banging,
having sex with girls his age back then. Yeah, he's a 40-year-old man still swinging it wild.
And still macking on him. But they reconnect and stuff, and and they start to like get along and stuff. They start to like rekindle their friendship. Yeah, because it's been a while. But then. Carl, he gets him this game, Striking Vipers X. It's on this new wave console for the whatever console they're playing. It's like this new like VR. It's like a VR thing. I don't remember if they put on headsets.
They put a little circular disc on their side of their head, like
a San Junipero type of thing.
Yeah, exactly like that. Actually, yeah.
So so they had the little San Junipero thing, and they put that on your head, and then you become the character. Which, this is something I brought up to my fiance who I was watching it with. Yeah. That creates all kinds of balancing issues in the game itself if the players are controlling the characters. Because I was like, but the only people who would be able to win at this game at tournaments would be like martial arts masters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's totally
Irrelevant right now.
That's totally irrelevant to the story. Everyone that just went through my head. Do you want to continue?
And they rekindle. They start fighting. Anthony Mackie's character admits that he's not that good. Obviously, Carl is better, and he starts beating his ass because Carl is playing as the Chun-Li character,
Yeah.
and Anthony Mackie is playing as, if you say Vance, right?
Lance.
Lance, the
Lance
Ryu.
Lance and Roxette.
Lance and Roxette. And, he gets his ass beat. And obviously the characters are really close, like physically close,
Right,
after he beat his ass. And as per usual, hot tension in the air, your adrenaline is pumping, they start making out. Obviously, they realize, what are we doing? This is weird. This is a video game. And then they pursue. They did it. And they leave. He's confused. He's shocked. Does he feel like he cheated on his wife? Is he gay? Did he just really have sex with his best friend? And there's a period of time where they aren't talking, and he misses it. He gets right back onto the game and starts doing it again.
Right, it becomes like a regular thing.
Yeah, it becomes a regular thing. And there's scenes where his wife is, hey, do you want to have sex? Like, I'm feeling frisky tonight. And Anthony Mackie's character is, no, I'm too tired. Obviously lying. Like,
Right.
This is like a cheating type ass, drama episode. Like, he feels bad, but he likes what he's doing, but he feels guilty at the same time. Like, every type of soap drama. And it gets to a point where she's like, you know what? Let me invite him over to dinner. Maybe because, we can all have fun, be like our young self.
Yeah, like the old days.
Yep. And that caused a litany of issues. He starts to back away from Carl. Like, I don't really want to do this anymore. This is weird. I got a wife. And they stop. He cuts it off. And obviously, Carl gets jealous. And starts talking to him. Starts harassing him text message wise. You could think of this as like a harassment type episode. But a male and male. Not a male and female type of thing. And he starts admitting like, oh man, I've been doing this in different rooms, man. But it don't feel good, man. I fucked a polar bear, man. A polar bear. And it starts to get to a point where it starts to get uncomfortable.
Now, I want to stop you right there so I could hop on the point I was making before the synopsis. Because that was the line I was going to talk about. Yeah. But it wouldn't have made any sense unless we talked about the episode. That was the line. He was like, man, I fucked other people that was like the same avatar. I fucked Lance and all these characters, and I fucked the polar bear. Right? And that bothered me, and I didn't like that. Not because, because he fucked a polar bear.
Yeah.
That's whatever. You're in the game, whatever. But this is supposed to be a fighting game.
Yeah.
Right? You're supposed to go in here and you're supposed to fight each other.
Yes.
But everyone's like fucking each other.
Yes.
And that I'm not sure if they meant that, if they meant this, but what I get from that is that's probably 100% chance. So I guess that's definitely what would happen in that scenario. You wouldn't. I even brought this up when I was watching it. I was like, I feel like it would be hard to actually get into a fight in this game. Because I feel like it would devolve into, thirsty, horny men. Yeah. They'll go in there, probably play as Lance or one of the male characters that are just traditionally male. And they'll go into ranked match or player match. Yeah. And they'll wait to get paired up with like a Roxette or one of the female characters. And then they'll try to be like, hey, you want to fuck? And if they don't fuck, rage quit or something like that. Yeah, obviously. I feel like at least at the end of that game's lifespan. And what I think would happen, I know I'm taking a big tangent, is that when the game comes out for a while, I think it'll become that. Yeah. And I feel like even when newer games come out, that will stay as just like a red light district. Yeah. You know what I mean? People just, we want to get on that Striking Vipers X. Yeah. And he said that. And he said it like that. X. Like, it was like secretive, like, type of like underground. And I feel like at that point, it wouldn't be, it would just evolve into not a fighting game anymore. It would just be a place where you just have sex with each other.
Yeah, and I think the overall premise of the episode, like the grand scheme is technology is going to take us to a place where now we can find sex in a safer and a more erotic way.
Yeah.
Like instead of just having sex VR, we're just going to create our own realm in a video game. And I get it. It's just, as a gamer, I just never liked that perception of us just being complete horn dogs.
It's like we have other things. We would love a game like that, but for an adventure.
Yeah.
Like an adventure game.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you could bang NPCs in the adventure game, say it's like a Witcher or like a Grand Theft Auto, I think that would be great.
I mean, yeah. But, you know, besides the point, I like the ending of the episode.
Okay, yeah, go on,
I think it was a good conclusion where he finally does come out to tell his wife.
Yeah.
And there was a scene earlier where his wife was fed up and she looked like she was attempting to cheat, but didn't when she went out to the bar. And then he came out, told her, "You never seen the conversation."
Right,
but
it's assumed.
What this season does is they have these end credits where there's extra scenes, but there's no real dialogue with characters.
Yeah.
And in this one, you just see Anthony Mackie's character, and there's a calendar that says once a month. In your head, it's like, okay, they agreed once a month that he can do this. Yeah. He can go out. And then you see a scene of his wife going out once a month. Right,
to get, find a young piece out there.
Yep. And it's an agreed mutual agreement, which personally I don't know, but whatever makes a relationship happy for all three people.
For them.
It's fine. And I thought that was a mature type of thing to do.
And it's something adults would do.
And I was wishing that they would have got to that way sooner, but I felt like the two main characters were kind of acting like kids.
Yeah, well, it's like a complicated situation, because can you imagine, like, that's like your best friend, like your best male friend, and then like you're both in different bodies.
Yeah.
Right, and things get all messed up. Like you start having sex with like your male best friend, but he's in like a sexy like female body. And, it feels good. You're having, like, your brain is like, we're having sex with a woman right now. This is woman sex. It's not your best friend because he looks like a woman, sounds like a woman, different name, and just different everything.
Yeah.
So it's, the emotions are different because, like, consciously, that's my best friend. But, like, subconsciously, your
body,
your genitals and your body is like, oh, yeah.
Yep. And
so they're trying to work all that out. That's like a whole complicated situation none of us could even imagine.
Don't understand. I expect more from Black Mirror personally.
Oh yeah, yeah. As far as Black Mirror,
because I feel like that's more of like a CW Warner Brothers type of episode where it's just a bunch of melodrama, and I don't really like melodrama, and especially in the Black Mirror, I like high concept and expanding my mind and thought, and it didn't really do that.
Right. It doesn't leave you, like, wondering, like, where humanity could go and should it go there.
Yeah.
It just leaves you, like, thinking about, is that gay? Is that not gay?
That's really what you only think about at the end.
Yeah, it's like, is that gay? Is Carl gay, but he only likes to do this in the female body?
Yeah.
He doesn't do it outside? Is he gay for his best friend?
Oh, yeah, there's a scene where he says, "Just kiss me." Yeah. And they kiss and they don't feel anything.
Yeah, and there's nothing there. They don't like each other like that in the real world, just in the striking fight for sex. Mm-hmm. But they're still like each other, and they know they're each other. Yeah. Not like one's being catfished by the other. Yeah. They knew from the jump they're each other, and it's still played out that way. But that's the only thing you really think about. You're like, is that gay?
Yeah, which is not like when you have a high concept show, like your fan base should be wondering.
Right, because at the end of the day, that's a question that doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, is that gay? It's like, who cares?
Yeah, that's stuff that you worry about like when you're middle and high school.
Yeah, you're not worried about that as an adult. It's not like, well, should technology go so far as to let us go into games like this? No, I mean, it doesn't care because no one really got hurt. If they didn't have sex with each other, no one would have gotten hurt.
There's an episode in like season 2 where they went to that weird like Hideo Kojima video game VR when he broke in. Remember that? It was an earlier one where he went to the haunted house.
Oh, playtest. Yeah.
That was a better concept.
Right, and it was pretty much the same concept.
Yeah. But it was in a much better done way, I guess. Yeah. And it wasn't really that adolescent.
And it was pretty much asking kind of the same question. Mm-hmm. It's like, should we let technology get this far? How
And
dangerous can it be?
yeah. But that's besides the point. I'm just saying this is a subpar episode, personally.
I wasn't very impressed with it either. At the end of the day, I was like, okay, I mean, everyone acted well, I guess.
But episode 2, Smithereen, was by far the best one of the season.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Smithereen.
It is, at its core, a Black Mirror episode, but without grand technology, but it still spoke enough as a strong message.
It brought me back all the way to the first episode.
Exactly.
Of Black Mirror.
About social
that's the vibe
media.
I got. I'm like, oh, okay, we're taking it back a few steps.
Yes, and this episode took place mainly in a car.
Yeah, and the fact that it kept it so small scale is really impressive.
And this episode just it involves an app called Smithereen, which is basically Twitter.
Right.
It's obviously Twitter, and it involves a British guy. I think his name's Charlie or something. He seems like he's depressed. He's like antisocial, and he does an Uber type job, picks up people, but he's been only picking up people from this big corporate office. And one day he just snaps, pulls a gun off this young black intern, asking him to call Billy Bob or whatever.
Billy Bauer.
Billy Bauer.
Billy Bauer.
I want to talk to him. And it seems like, he wants to get money or something, a novice threat. And he's an intern, so there's so many hoops that you have to go through to talk to corporate level, which actually shows the bull crap into that whole type of construct of or just structure of it's really hard to talk to your boss in these type of businesses.
Big corporations.
Yeah, and eventually he gets chased down by the cops, and his car gets screwed up, and he's stuck in the middle of a cornfield. And that's mainly where the whole show takes place.
In that cornfield.
Yep. And the first instance where I was like, yep, this is going to go downward, when those kids start taking pictures, start posting on Smithereens, start posting stuff, instead of doing the right thing and leaving. That's the issue.
Like they were told.
Yeah, like they were told. Sometimes it's not good to stand there in the middle of potential gunfire.
I mean, to the kids' defense, they weren't allowed to grab their bikes, and they were in the middle of nowhere.
Fair enough.
Where they could just hike it all the way home.
Fair enough. I understand that. And I thought the main character, and I thought their two dialogues inside the car were pretty good.
Yeah, I love the relationship that kind of formed between
They
them.
were scared. And you saw the frantic, and you saw that he was not going to give up at all.
No, because he knew that this is it. This is the end of the line for me. I did this on purpose.
They finally get to a point where they actually talk to the COO. And she's
Penelope, that's what her name is.
In America. This is an American-based company. And they start, she's starting to deflect, say, you can't talk to Billy, he's at a silent retreat.
Silent retreat, yeah.
Which sounds so snobbish for a rich person.
Yeah, and she was real corporate about everything. Everything she did, she was very corporate about everything.
And what scared me, and this is the Black Mirror thing, is a corporation were able to hack his phone. So they can listen in what he's saying inside the car.
Yeah.
And this is when a lot of the Black Mirror elements start coming in. Then he logs into Smithereen. They get a thing that he logged in.
Right, they knew it immediately.
Mm-hmm. He's been inactive for, I think, 4 or 5 years. And then you realize why. He starts opening up.
Right,
saying
to the kid in the car.
His wife died.
Oh, no, that's when he opened up to when he got on the phone with Billy.
Yeah, they finally get to Billy, who's in the middle of the desert.
Right in the middle of freaking
Who's played by Topher Grace.
Right.
But that's besides the point.
He did an okay job.
And he's your typical Silicon Valley boss.
Yeah,
he's
psycho
tee, long hair,
when they were
slim.
talking about retreats and
he had the type. He was the type.
You just had him in his head, and that's exactly who it was.
And he opens up saying what you understand why he wanted to talk to him. It wasn't for ransom. It was legitimately to fucking vent because he was addicted to social media. This is a victim of addiction to social media.
Right.
He was an addict. He posted constantly. And he said, and he got into a car accident. That he was hit by a drunk driver, but he couldn't avoid it if he didn't look at the phone. He got a bing, and it was all for.
He was in the middle of nowhere. He wasn't in the middle of nowhere, but he was on an empty road.
Yeah.
Had he been paying attention, he would have seen headlights. Yeah. He would have seen them way before he did. But go on.
And he said all for it wasn't worth it. It was all for a fucking dog-like photo, and he crashed. And all he wanted to do is tell him that your fucking app did this to me. Your app made an addict, which is a two-way street.
Yeah.
Because, yes, the app, they're predatory. As you saw, like, the owners can hack into your phone and listen to you. Can know whenever you're logged in and just get so much data. Like, legit, I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking at flights to go to Scotland. I went to Instagram. There was an advertisement post that says cheap flights from Philadelphia to Scotland. I shit you not.
No, I believe
they are
listening.
constantly knowing what you're accessing off the app to put their analytics into their app to get you hooked. And so some weak-minded people, it is addicted. You can say to yourself, I'm not an addict. I wouldn't get addicted to social media. Doesn't mean the person next to you won't.
Yeah.
Because what if they haven't got, a real personal life in their actual life, but they have a life in their phone because they feel wanted, they feel loved, they feel inspired to do things in their phone, and people get addicted, and then you start being manipulated by these advertisements, and that's what Billy opens up. He says like, yeah, I'm a corporate fucking puppet, which in the context sounded like he was being a little bitch, kind of, but it's kind of true. A lot of these faces aren't really the runners, the owners of the company. It's shareholders, it's advertisement departments. Yeah. They're the owners, and
because they're the ones that sponsor and pay for everything.
And it's all these entities that made a man snap, and do all these crimes. Potentially look like he's going to kill somebody, but all he wanted to do was talk to the owner, say like, "You fucking destroyed my life.
Right.
You did this." Yeah.
Let him know that this is because of your app. I mean, there is this thing where he should take some responsibility, but I feel like he does.
No, he does. He said it's my fault.
That's why he's there.
But he wanted to let him know.
Like how it was his fault.
Yeah.
And I feel like even like Billy Bauer, like he said, I never intended for Smithereen to be this way.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be predatory. You weren't supposed to be addicted.
I believe that.
It was like for fun. Yeah, it was pretty convincing about it.
Yeah, I believe that.
And it was like all these people got their money in their hands and pockets, and it became what it is now, and I hate it. And then he like quit it, like in that same monologue. Yeah. He was like, I came on a five day silent retreat. It became 7-day retreat. Actually, I quit.
Yeah, and then Charlie's character was like, "Shut up, just shut up.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck." But yeah, it went to there, and it goes back to, that's it. And he says like, "I have nothing else to live," and then the guy he kidnapped starts to warm up. He's like, "Dude, like, just give up. I won't say that you threatened me. I won't say that you really hurt me. You just need some help." And he's like, "I got all the help I need. I'm done." And, it looks like he's going to kill himself. He says, "Just get out. I don't want you to get hurt. Just be slow." And he drops the gun. And I understand his motive. He grabbed the gun because he doesn't want him to kill himself. Yeah. And then they start fighting. And then they give the go-ahead to shoot.
Right, when they get a clear shot.
Yeah, clear shot.
That's when it cuts to black. You hear it pulls the trigger.
They pull the trigger.
Cuts to black.
And they have this beautiful rendition of Andy Williams. "Can't Take My Eyes Off of You."
Is that the song that was
Yes. By Andy Williams. And it's left so ambiguous. And I think that the song fits the overall tone of the episode. "I can't keep my eyes off of you." And then you see these scenes of random people looking through their phones. Stopping. Right. This is a big thing. Stopping what they're doing. And there was a scene of a guy in the middle of the street driving, stopping, looking at his phone, and then someone beeping, bringing them back to reality.
Yeah, that's scary. You're driving.
Yeah, and then you see a guy about to play basketball, looking at his phone. Oh, he takes off his things and play basketball, and then you see Billy just look down at his laptop and just goes right back to his silent retreat.
And he kind of closes his eyes and he's.
You don't see what happened, who died, did they get the shot. It's left to your interpretation.
Well, those snipers were the worst snipers.
Oh, they missed a lot.
They missed so many shots of a guy sitting in a car. Mm-hmm. Like, come on.
But I thought it was just beautiful because, like, how blinded we are. How much we're just hooked. Yeah. How much we're hooked on the one story and then going to the next story. And I felt like this is a Black Mirror episode that did that fine.
Without even processing.
Exactly.
Because you have to remember that people, like, on the street at the end, like, the end little montage there, they were looking at their phone, because the news popped up.
Yeah.
And then they immediately went back to what they were doing. What they read was hostage taken, shots fired, man killed, maybe killed, police standoff, hundreds of police, international, they're in USA and all that stuff too. And they're just like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And then right back to their
right back to their
lives. Like that didn't just happen.
But they legit stopped for a nap.
They stopped to see something they didn't care about.
Yeah.
Something they didn't truly care about. They stopped. They dropped everything just to look at, shrug their shoulders and then.
Yeah. And you see that everywhere in this world. And I thought that was a beautiful rendition of the concept of how we are hooked on social media. And they've done this in multiple episodes, but in a different tone and different style. But it was good to see that after having a lackluster first episode.
Yeah.
I think this is probably maybe top 5 episodes
of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time.
I really
Smithereens like top 5.
Yeah. To me, I thought it was beautiful, and the ending song is actually one of like.
Would you put it in your top 5 list?
Yeah. No, it's my top 5.
It's in your top 5.
Yeah.
What did it knock out?
I can't really remember, but I know number 1 will always be Hated by the Nation.
Hated by the Nation.
And that's a social media episode where social media was choosing who to kill. But still, I don't know. I think the ending song with Andy Williams was a great rendition and a great way to close it to encapsulate this whole great episode. Personally,
yeah. To show off just kind of like the theme of it, because you do kind of have your eyes on everything.
And there's a happy ending though, because the girl he was having sex with at the beginning, had an issue with her daughter because she died, and she's been trying to figure out emails. He says, I type 3 times a day. I'm locked out for a whole day. And he asks Billy Bauer to talk to the guy who owns that social media to give him the password. That was his last wish.
And then she was able to log into her it was a Persona account.
Yeah, Persona.
Persona.
To access it.
See her old pictures. And she wanted to figure out why her daughter killed herself.
Yeah.
And his daughter killed herself. And he was in the beginning, the main character, he was at this meeting, and I assume it was maybe a meeting about people who committed suicide. I don't know, the person...
Or lost.
Or lost, people that have lost people. And he hasn't said anything yet, so... And he said, the woman was like, I haven't heard you speak yet. He was like, well, I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting for the right time. And we learned what the right time was.
Yeah.
And that was to Billy Bauer, in the car, in the cornfield.
To help, yeah. And... that was a nice happy ending personally for me, even though it's sad to see like humanity just withers away into its mundane weird routines.
Yeah, but that's if like this like social media social media craze doesn't like die down a little bit, we may end up in a kind of a really really desensitized state.
And we're going to be on one of your favorite episodes where you have to be socially rated. Remember that one?
Yeah, we might. Fucking
nosedive. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna be in that type of
scenario.
Nope.
I don't ever want to be in that situation, but it's a possibility.
So, what do you think about the episode personally?
Smithereens.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really I enjoyed it. I thought all the people were fucking great. I thought all the actors were fantastic. The atmosphere was pretty good. I really love stories like that where there's the person kidnapped someone or people. But they're like the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Like you follow the protagonist as they kidnap people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they kidnap people and they start to open up to these people, and then like the people they kidnap start to they start to become kind of warm towards each other. Not like a Stockholm syndrome type of deal, but they're like I understand where you're coming from, but you can't do this though.
Yeah.
And they start to they go from hostage and like hostagee or what is that one? Oh no, hostage and hostage taker. I want to talk about hostage and hostage taker. To they're still the hostage taker, but now they're on kind of like talking terms when they really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I saw that for the first time. Not for the first time, but I really noticed it in this old movie that had Ice Cube in it, called First Sunday.
Really?
Where Ice Cube and Tracy Morgan, they took a church hostage.
Oh wow.
They're gonna take the
I
money.
saw that.
Take the money
I saw
from
that
the
movie.
church. It's pretty heinous thing, but
everyone started warming up to them and understanding what to do.
I think
Cedric the Entertainer was there, right?
Yeah. And Cat Williams too. And they all started like warming
wasn't
up
a
to
bad
each
movie.
other. And eventually Tracy Morgan was on the churchgoer side. Like he was like, I don't even want to do this anymore. I want to hang out with these church people. They're good people, and I need good people. And I like those kind of stories. So I like this story, the way the main character and I cannot think of what the intern's name is, but the intern, obviously they're like, I don't want to say hate each other. The intern's like super scared.
Yeah, he's frightened.
And the main character, he's also scared, but he's just doing his thing.
He's determined.
Right, but like as soon as like the intern like learns what and why this man is doing this, he's like, okay, I get it. I get it. If we can get you out of here alive, you can get better.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like his mindset during his like final gambit where he like tried to take the gun. But it was clear like the main character wasn't trying to leave there alive.
Nope.
Like he didn't feel like he deserved to be alive. And I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put it on my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be like, this beats out Nosedive or beats out White Christmas or beats out anyone, especially not Archangel.
Oh, yeah. But
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe it'd be in the top 10.
Maybe what? Yeah.
Had a top 10. Maybe Smithereen would be there. But I'm not sure.
But the next episode is a little bit weird. I would say I didn't really mind it, but it felt like it had different tones and vibes. And the next one is basically just, it's called Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2. And it's the one with Miley Cyrus. Which they did the most cliche thing and made Miley Cyrus' character a pop star.
Right, she was a pop star.
Now, I think this episode would have been good in the late 2000s.
Maybe, yeah.
When you started seeing celebrities it looked like they were starting to sell out. I think that was more prevalent then. I think social media and hate mob stuff is more prevalent now.
Yeah.
I think this episode is 10 years too late, personally.
Because we're kind of out of like the poppy, like the sugar candy pop stars. We're out of that.
What it did, it's okay. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. But I did like its premise. Like, basically, it was cliche. We gotta save Ashley, because guess what? Auntie's going to try to kill her and sell her to the whole world, basically.
Yeah.
And it felt so mundane and cliche. And it kind of pissed me off, because I was just like, I would have really loved to see Miley Cyrus stretch her acting ability. Because I felt like she did a lot of cool things as a voiceover with the Ashley 2.
Yeah. I feel like this movie was kind of like Miley Cyrus saying, I can act too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not just Hannah Montana, I can do act, which I understand. Mm-hmm. But the funny thing about this episode is that, like you say, it's like mundane, and like you say, it's not great, and it's not the worst. This is one of my least favorite episodes of all time.
Really?
It's no Crocodile.
Okay, yeah.
Right? It's no Metalhead.
Yep.
But this is like number 3. Like, I despise this episode.
Now, why?
Okay. So it starts off. Here's the mindset I went in with, right?
Yeah.
I looked at the premise. I didn't read the description.
Yeah.
I looked at the premise. You have the 2 sisters, right? And a single dad, and Ashley the pop star. Now, the way they're setting up, I was like, okay, this younger sister, is, really loves this pop star. I was like, she's going to fall into a delusion, and the theme is going to be, how idols are pushed these days, and how they're still, like...
We've seen that so much.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot, but that's what I was expecting. But they started to show that maybe it wouldn't. Because then the Ashley 2s came out, and then I was like, okay, so maybe she'll get like so invested in the Ashley 2 it'll be kind of weird, like, because she was like, this is my only friend, and the Ashley 2 had some personality. I mean, it was based off of the Ashley character's personality, and but the way they interacted, like the way she was talking us there, that was kind of cool. I would have kind of
when they took away that suppression thing.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
Yeah. Well,
and I thought that was pretty cool. You don't see many single father stories either.
No.
So it was cool. Like the dad was weird. He was like a rat trap maker, and he's always like trying to get people to revamp their pest control into his. Which the hustle is real. But I had the sister and older sister like dynamic and stuff.
You're lame. Well, you're a weird. It's cliche.
Yeah. It's very very cliche, and the older sister obviously didn't like the Ashley 2 at first. And then Ashley too started like asking her questions and stuff, and she asked like she said a good thing, where the older sister was describing what kind of music she liked, and she said she listened to it because her mom listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ashley was like, so you only listen to music that your mom listened to? And I was like, that's how she said it.
Mm-hmm.
And like the older sister was like, Ashley, go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could tell it made her mad, but it made her think.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. It's like, maybe this is going on to something. Maybe Ashley 2 is going to affect the whole family or something with, like, its inquisitive questions. But I also had in the back of my head, I was like, all right, this thing is, like, collecting data for something.
Yeah.
And then it went to, Ashley's point of view. And this is where I liked it. I liked Ashley's point of view.
Yeah.
Because it's always... Because that's kind of how it is, like, for those, like, pop stars.
Young, too, yeah.
For the young, especially, like, the child ones, like, the young teens or even younger, the adult supervisors are always, like, really manipulative of them.
And that's kind of a personal thing for her, too.
Yeah, and you could see that. And you could see, the aunt was, like, with an iron fist trying to met her up and stuff.
Yeah.
Give her all this medication. And, like, I felt bad for her, because that's... Honestly, that's probably something Miley Cyrus herself had to go through.
Yeah.
At least on maybe a little bit milder, because the aunt was like just clean breaking laws.
Oh, see, like, I didn't really like that, because I hate, like, blatant evil characters.
No, I'm with you. Bro,
yeah,
I'm with you.
So whack.
Remember, this is one of my least favorite episodes.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I thought that she was too evil. There was no gray. I'm like,
her reason is, because I had to take care of you at a young age.
It's like, get the fuck over it.
Your family, like...
Right, that's your fucking niece. It's like, are you kidding me?
You made a lot of money off of her, too, so, like, I don't understand what the resentment is.
Yeah, it's like, why are you treating her this way? If she wants to write new music, let her write new music. It's like, what are you doing? And, and she, like, made her overdose. Well, she was given Miley Cyrus meds.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Ashley meds. But she wasn't taking them because she wanted to write dark tunes. And the meds, like, made her compliant and made her, like, do all the poppy shit she didn't like.
Yeah.
She's trying to write dark tunes, whatever. She's trying to evolve as a musician.
Exactly.
And so she'll grab the pills and stash them away.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fucking aunt put a camera in her dressing room, caught her stashing the pills, and then, did it like an evil monologue thing, like pulled out her, like, Ashley's diary, and it's like, oh, you really think these things? And Ashley's like, give me the diary! And then they had just eaten tacos and shit. Like fish tacos or something like that. And then the aunt was like, sit down, because Ashley had just jumped out of her seat and yelled, you're a bitch or something like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, sit down. And she's like, no, I'm not going to. It's like, but you will. And then Ashley sat down, and she was like, why did I just do that? And she's getting all wobbly. And it turned out the mom, like, powdered all of the pills. This was a lot of pills. Like, this is enough pills to kill anyone.
Yeah.
Into her food. Which I'm not sure if that would work.
They didn't really think too much about
maybe not
the
that
stuff.
I don't know if that would work if you just crushed it up and put it in a whole bunch of food. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor. And then she, went to like a coma, permanent coma.
For
Game
6
over.
months.
For 6 months. And here is the moment I checked out.
What was that?
I checked out when they brought up before that, oh, I hear music in my dreams and then I jot it down. When they brought up that they can look into her dreams and jot down the music and then, like, brought it into, like, a computer thing and, like, make songs out of it and pitch shift it and, like, and use, like voice things from the Ashley 2s, I was like, get the fuck out of here. I couldn't with that thing.
So it was like Access to Dreams really just put you off?
Yeah, but that's what, like, turned me off. But, and I'll be totally honest with the entire audience. I didn't finish it.
No?
I didn't finish the episode. On purpose. I turned it off. And I turned it off when the two sisters plugged in their Ashley 2, and you started to bring this up earlier, but I cut you off like an asshole.
Nah, sorry.
They plugged in Ashley 2 into their dad's computer. Somehow it's compatible, I don't know. Into their dad's computer, and they saw that, Ashley's whole mind is in the Ashley 2s, but a small section is what's active. Everything's closed off to that small section that the Ashley 2 does. So they reactivate it. Now, we have a perfect Ashley in the Ashley 2, and she's a wisecracking, sailor-mouthed, a former pop star, but she's also like a robot, so she's doing all these like robot gestures while she's doing it, and like we turned it off shortly after that when they came up with the plan of like getting into
Her house.
We turned it off right before that, so you're gonna have to finish it because that's where we turned it
Oh
off.
yeah, so they steal her dad's car, her very obvious rat killing car, and the aunt leaves to promote Ashley Forever, which is basically, you remember the Tupac VR thing?
Yeah.
The augment or that? It was that for
that.
Ashley, yeah.
Okay.
But for everywhere, like I think you could have it at your house and stuff. A person like Ashley that will sing to you. So they leave, and they freaking burn rubber and go into her house. And here's the problem: she's a rich celebrity. There's no cameras at all, no actual security besides the big, like cliche white tough guy.
Yeah.
And they go in and say, "Oh, we got a rat infection problem. The lady called me, and I gotta clean. Can I bring my sister?" And they come in. And like obviously she's distracting the guy while her little sister goes up to find where Ashley is, and they find Ashley hooked up to all the machines.
Yeah, reading all of her stuff.
And the little Ashley too goes and finds a wire and unplugs her.
Right.
They like obviously thinking like, okay, I'd rather be dead than hooked up to a machine.
Right. People stealing my memories and stuff.
And the bigger sister, she tased the security guard.
Yeah.
They go upstairs, and oh, Ashley's dead. I'm crying. She wakes up.
Oh, she wakes up.
Yeah, she wakes up because obviously she was drugged, and they unplug it so none of the drugs are coming to her body. She freaks out. The bigger agent or lawyer comes in, and is like, "Oh, Ashley's awake. We'll put her back under," and he has a needle. And then the two sisters beat the shit out of him, hit him in the head. They steal Ashley, and they go to a car chase because they race to the stage or wherever they were when they're about to promote the new Ashley Forever. Mm-hmm. And they get chased by a cop, and they break into the theater, and she gets out of the car.
Ashley gets out of the car?
Yeah, Ashley gets out of the car.
He's been laying in bed in a coma for 6 months.
Yeah,
stands out of the car.
legs. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, no muscles. And she stands up and just looks at her and flips off her aunt. And it does. The Black Mirror thing is they cut to black and they go to this. You see a scene where they're in the bar and you see Ashley playing her rock metal with the sister.
Okay.
And, you don't know what happened to the aunt. And you see some old Ashley fans come up to the bar. Or to the stage, or it's like a little dive bar. She's just playing like heavy metal, and they're like, "Ew, this is the Ashley," and they walk away. And you see the little Ashley too. She has an anarchy little sticker, and the episode just ends.
Wow, so it didn't get any better.
Nah.
Sorry, I hated everything you just said to me.
Yep, that's how it ends, and the problem is this whole season I felt like it was trying to appeal to an American crowd, but not realizing that it already appealed to an American crowd with its premises.
Don't appeal to just one crowd. Appeal to everybody.
And I really hope for season 6 that they expand more episodes and kind of go back to
basics.
Britain. I feel like it works more for Charlie Brooker, the owner, writer, and all that. Yeah. I think it works better for him because he understands British people, but he also understands technology and its dark side. And I felt like they really lost themselves in this season, except for Smithereens.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they were focused on more of the social aspect of humanity as opposed to the technological aspect of it. There's the previous seasons, it was the fear of the loss of humanity through technology.
Yeah.
Now this is the fear of losing our humanity through social things.
Yeah.
Through idols, through social media, through
video games.
Video games. There's a clear thing, except on the other side with the fear of losing humanity through social things, social experiences.
Yeah.
It's done to death.
A lot.
It's done to death. We've seen that already. We can go and think about that. We can look up all kinds of news articles.
Yeah.
And find studies on that. On the previous ones, we didn't start thinking about that kind of stuff until we saw the episodes.
Yeah.
What if we could walk around and rate everyone as if it was social media?
Yeah.
What would happen then? Like, how would life turn? What if people were rated, like, giving, like, what if people were treated differently based on how much people, like, liked them?
Yeah.
But on an app, like,
yeah.
not so much, physically like them, because no one in that world, I'm talking about Nosedive, by the way.
Yeah.
No one liked each other. Everyone was so fake and plastic.
And it was 100% accurate to how people sometimes see each other online.
Yeah. And that's just, it was as if, Nosedive was as if you stepped inside of social media.
Yeah.
Like you hopped into social media. That's what Nosedive was. And I still remember Nosedive clearly because it left an impact on me, because it made me think.
And that's what Black Mirror is supposed to do, make you think. And not make you be like, did I just waste my time? And then,
Which is what I felt like.
Yeah. And it's a shame, because like you said, they have good actors, but the problem is they advertise way too much of the actors than the actual concepts. And I feel like the episode that didn't really have the high caliber actor was Smithereen.
Right.
Because the main actor was, I can't even tell you what his name is, but it worked. And because they didn't advertise that, they just worked with the story premise and they didn't plaster the face with, look at this guy, look who we can afford, look who we can afford. And I felt like they did that good with John Hamm.
Yeah, and John Hamm was great. And they cast him in, like, the perfect role. And he was, like, the most famous we got.
Yeah.
I mean, now the guy from the first episode, second episode, 15 Million Mirrors, now he's famous.
Yeah.
But he wasn't famous then. He was just the guy from 15 Million Mirrors.
But it is what it is. I really hope that they get their stuff together and, like, really take the constructive criticism to heart and don't listen to, obviously, the blatant negative bullcrap that you always hear.
Yeah.
But just work and improve your things. Don't hold back. Don't say, oh, we're sorry that we disappointed. You did what you did because you thought that was what was right.
Right. You
just
thought
move
that was
on
a
forward.
good direction.
Yeah, just move forward. Don't backtrack to a point where you're redundant and start retreading old things. Progress. Work on things. That's why you only have a season once a year and you can have 6-7 episodes because you give these creative teams time to work on stuff.
Yeah, you have time and kind of the leeway.
Yeah. As long as your thing is technology somewhat based, you're good. Let these creators work. And that's what I appreciate for Black Mirror and Netflix. They let their creators work.
Right, and they pump out some creative stuff.
It's just sometimes you get stuff like this.
Sometimes. No series has a perfect season.
Nah.
But it also kind of leaves like a bad taste in my mouth for Bandersnatch. You already know I don't like Bandersnatch, but they have credited Bandersnatch as saying season 5 isn't long because there's enough footage in Bandersnatch that we could have a whole season.
It's fine.
But Bandersnatch wasn't even like the novelty wore off fast as shit. For me, I was like, oh, now I gotta stop and fucking choose this and.
Yeah, they said it has a total of 300 minutes of content, which is 5 hours.
5 hours, but I don't care.
I mean, I thought the concept was so cool, but I felt like, dude, I keep on repeating this. And I understand it was kind of like losing your mind in it, but like I don't want to lose my mind.
It was high concept.
It was high concept, and it still needs a lot of work.
Yeah, and it just, you could tell, and this is like some of the problems I have with video games that have like
choices, right?
Choices. You could tell there was a good ending. Mm-hmm. Like there was an ending you were supposed to get to, and I hate that. Like you just know what the good ending is.
Oh, like the canonical ending.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that. If you're gonna have a game or a show with multiple endings and multiple branches and multiple choices, make each one like feasible. Don't have one where he dies like 40 minutes in. Don't have one where he goes to jail. Don't have one where he's a big giant success.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have one where he's not so much of a success, but his offspring's a success.
Yeah.
And don't have one that doesn't get started because you do what you're supposed to do in the very beginning. You know what I mean? Because you know which one you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
The success route.
Exactly.
And that gives you, that stops you from going, what's the best choice for this situation?
Yeah.
And it makes you go, what's the best choice for this character to get to the end goal. That is definitely where I need
Because
to be.
honestly, what you want to do is you want to succeed.
He's trying to make a game.
And
like,
you understand, like, that's what the character wants.
Yeah.
The character doesn't want to fail.
And it's not so much what you want.
Yeah.
You're not making the decision. It's trying to trick you like you're making the decision.
Yeah.
You're just trying to make the good... Because one of the decisions was, like, really stupid. It was, like, be silent or, like, kill your dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that went, like, 0 to 100 really
I was
quick.
like, what the fuck kind of decision is this?
I was like, what? Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it just became cumbersome.
And that's why Telltale closed down, because it felt redundant. And
Well, they also, like, were releasing way too many things.
but the formula was way too redundant, and they weren't changing it. And obviously, they said the one thing that you hate is they had a clear ending to their episodes or season.
That you knew.
Of what's coming and where it was going.
You knew which relationships you should foster. You knew which relationships you shouldn't foster.
Don't
And
ever
that's
advertise your thing saying, choose your ending, choose the way you want to end, choose your path. I'm like, but you got me. You got a clear, concrete path of what the actual ending is. Especially if it's like a franchise.
Yeah, and it's Black Mirror.
Right.
And especially if the character like has a goal from the beginning, right? He's like, I'm making a game, and I want the game to be a success. Like that's the goal. That's not your goal. That's not my goal. That's the character's goal.
Exactly.
And the character is the character is not so much of a blank slate that you can put yourself into his shoes. He's not. He has a weird relationship with his dad. The whole thing was just really weird. There's so many weird things that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, is he crazy? Are people really watching him? And at the end of the day, at least me, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I really hope that they don't like start cutting like seasons in half to do these choose your own adventures type stuff.
I hope not, because it did get really good reception, even though I didn't like it personally.
Because it's something new.
It's something new, yeah. Something we haven't...
Yeah, so, but I really hope that they don't see this and be like, well, let's do another Bandersnatch. Let's do something different. And I really hope that, like, it doesn't take away from the actual Black Mirror, like, series. But that's besides the point. All I can say is this season's lackluster. It's not really good. It's probably tied for, like, maybe the worst.
Worst season? Well, it didn't help that it only had 3 episodes.
And there's only one good episode.
Yeah, and there's one good episode. That means a third of your season is trash.
Yeah. And
I mean, I'm sorry. 2/3 of your season is trash.
I thought last season was actually the best. Season 4.
What episodes were in season 4?
It was USS Caliver.
Callister.
Callister.
USS Callister.
They had the
Playtest?
play test. It had the Black Museum.
Black Museum, okay.
Had
Was that Hang the DJ as well?
I want to say
Why don't you
yes.
just look it up?
I'll look it up just because like I don't want to give people the wrong
wrong info.
Black Mirror season. But yeah, like last season it had like it didn't have like the all time greats, but everything was consistent on like, this is pretty good. This is actually amazing. This is wow. Oh, season 4 had your favorite, had Archangel.
Archangel was season 4.
Had one of your worst crocodiles.
Oh, and Crocodile. And Metalhead, too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I hate that one. Hang the DJ in the Black Museum.
Hang the DJ was on... And Black Museum was on your top 5.
Oh, I love Hang the DJ. It personally is something that I'm feeling right now, personally.
Okay.
But,
Alright, here's something I want to say, like, real quick. Before me and Ben... Or Carvin Chicken.
Yeah.
His name's Ben. We did a top 5 Black Mirror episodes in like a previous podcast.
yeah.
And my top 5 was Archangel. I believe Black Museum was on it.
Yeah.
White Christmas.
What was that?
Nosedive, yeah, and I'm trying to think of the other ones. Like Man on Fire or something like that.
It was the one with the soldiers.
Yeah, one with the soldier. I think it's Man on Fire, but it might not be Man on Fire. That was my top 5, and your top 5 was...
It was, Hated by the Nation. Hated in the Nation. This is probably not all in order. Hated in the Nation. Huh?
Except for Hated in the Nation.
Yeah. Hated in the Nation number 1. I know that. Hang the DJ.
Black Museum.
I think Black Museum was 5, and I know one, like, boom, 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 boom. Is that 4 I already got?
You said...
Hated by the Nation. Hang the DJ.
Oh, the one with the kid.
Yeah, it was Shut Up and Dance.
Shut Up and Dance.
That one
Yeah.
was pissed me off at the end in a very good way. But those were our top 5. But a lot of them came from season 4.
Season 4 was a good one.
I mean, obviously there is a place for Metalhead. There is a place for obviously Crocodile because people love depressing things. They were way too depressing for me.
I didn't like Crocodile because I thought it was pointless.
Yeah.
I thought Crocodile was pointless.
But besides the point, have more seasons like that where you have a flavor of something different every single way. Because they were speaking of a message different every episode. And I felt like you said, this season was kind of just telling one type of story.
That we've seen 100 times.
Exactly. And technology, and what I liked about the other season is technology went advanced, modern, middle, advanced. And I felt like in this season it was just kind of in our time.
Yeah, all of it was just different methods.
Yeah.
Instead of Facebook, it was Smithereen.
Yeah.
Instead of VR, it was the San Junipero tech.
Which is a good episode.
And I mean the Miley Cyrus one was pretty modern.
Well, you stopped watching it, so
Yeah, I did stop
so that
watching
must have been really bad for you
stopped.
as a viewer.
Yeah, and I watched all of Crocodile. Well, the thing with Crocodile was that it got super stupid. Well, I thought the whole thing was stupid. But when they revealed that, because in Crocodile, for anyone, just a quick refresher, there's a woman, her and her husband killed someone, and now she's built this big career, and the husband comes back and says he's going to tell everyone, so she kills the husband by pushing him over to the floor, and he dies. I have no idea. I have no idea how he dies.
I think it's a neck injury or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then she goes on just a killing spree of anyone that could potentially, get her. And then we follow this this interrogator who uses this thing that hooks onto people and reads their memories.
Which was a cool concept. I like that concept.
It was a cool tech.
Yeah.
And she was trying to solve the crimes with these murders and stuff, which is fine, that's good. Had the killer been different, had it not been, what's her name, Mia was her name, had it been someone else, and her kills, she was just such a bad character. But anyway, and then, Mia goes to the detective's house, kills her, kills the dad, kills the husband. It's so stupid. I don't know how she keeps getting the jump on everybody.
It's it's really dumb. It's just
how? This is a grown-ass man
who
was aware she was there.
Yeah, it just...
Or maybe he wasn't, but still, he's a grown-ass fucking man.
Felt like they didn't, it felt like it was a very Kishimoto thing where it's I don't know how to end this.
Yeah, and then they had a son, right? They had a son, right? Or, a son, a baby. And she kills the baby because she was oh no, the baby saw me and they'll read the baby's memories. Right? And then they're oh, did you guys know the baby was born deaf and blind? At the end. And then
I was so... Oh my god, I remember that. That was the dumbest thing.
Stupid.
Because I felt like they wrote that last second.
Yeah.
The baby was blind.
It didn't matter.
Because that would have been cool if the baby did see it, but babies don't retain memories.
The babies can't retain memory.
That's the problem.
And then she gets busted because they put the memory thing on
a
hamster.
On the hamster.
On a hamster. Are you kidding me?
Because the hamster had the view.
Nowhere did they say that this thing works on animals. Memory works different in animals, especially small gerbils or small animals. I'd imagine, maybe.
I remember when you told me.
I thought the gerbil was paying attention.
Remember when you told me you hated that episode? I watched it. And I was laughing. I was like, wait. I thought they were gonna go to the baby. I was like, interesting. And then they're like, the hamster. Because they legit grabbed the hamster and they had the little device on his head. I was like, when did they get that miniaturized? The device.
Yeah, right. It's been a full head cow.
Yeah.
Up until that moment, and now it fits on a hamster. Oh my goodness. I'm so mad now. I had a nice little conversation, and now I'm fucking mad.
Please don't make episodes like that where you can't solve it. It seems like you're writing as the episode was being filmed.
Or if you want to introduce a problem like that, just don't solve it.
Yeah.
Have it be just a bitter bad ending.
Or just don't film episodes like that.
Or just don't have episodes like that. Just please have points to your episode. There's no points. They're oh, she played like she was sad, but she was actually a ruthless killer. That's why it's called Crocodile, because crocodile tears. And I'm no, she wasn't a ruthless killer. Y'all, there's no way she could have actually killed anyone. She was 90 pounds.
She was light.
There's no way she should have killed the husband, because the husband was taller, heavier. How did she push him over, and how did he die on impact? With the ground. This is from a standing position, guys. from a standing position downwards.
Go watch the episode and see the scene for yourself.
Right? I mean, I just spoiled everything for you, but you don't...
But you don't have the visual of it
like,
yet.
this is stupid. Like, this is so stupid.
But I think we should close it off after having that
I'm so sorry.
bad tangent.
I'm so sorry.
I'm talking about this bad tangent of a bad episode.
Yeah.
But hey, we're humans. We have emotions, and we need to let them out somehow.
To Black Mirror's credit, we really love the series, which is why we get so upset about these kind of things, which is why we get so enamored with some of these things.
Because I would have called season 5 complete utter garbage if it wasn't for Smithereens.
Right, Smithereens was
I just call
different.
it mediocre at best.
Right.
Yep.
So far, they haven't had a 100% bad season.
No, but please don't start inching closer to that realm. Please
Right,
don't.
we don't need any more social media bad.
Yeah.
Video game bad. We don't need any more of that.
Yeah.
We have enough of that. We get told that every single day of our lives.
Exactly. Think of better concept. You have a whole year to figure out. So please, do it.
And no more Bandersnatches, guys. Come on.
Choose your shot. Choose your own adventures. Gotta wait. Like, technology's not there yet.
We're not there
concept.
for that to be fun for everybody. I mean,
But hey, if they do something different, at least they can say they tried. So
they tried, and they did try.
Yeah.
They're not saying they don't try. Okay, that was our kind of quick, fast-paced review of season 5 of Black Mirror and our thoughts on it. We will not be having TV discussions normally on the podcast. So this is just a special occasion because it's something that's near and dear to our hearts. If something else crazy comes out that I don't quite know what else I would fall off the path of fighting games to talk about, but this is definitely one of them. If you want to hear people's opinions on like comic books and stuff, there's more on the food chain page of actual reactions and stuff like that from the other members of the food chain. But here we're about fighting games and apparently Black Mirror.
yeah. Hey, season 5 had a fighting game, so
It had a fighting game.
You could get away with that.
Yeah, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yep.
Thank you for joining me, Carvin Chicken, for this. Honestly, the whole episode is just like a tangent to what I normally do.
Pretty much,
So
but
I
I'm
appreciate you coming on.
happy that I was here to voice my opinion as well. So thank you for having me here.
It is an honor and a pleasure. And as always, everyone, I am Mick Whoopi Goldberg. We are the Food Chain, and this has been the Bottom of the Pit podcast, where we look to the moon and swap our palates. Have a good night.